chickens for their eggs. The chickens cost $13.95 a piece. The first egg cost $2,000. Our alpha hen is Shimmy. She's black, white, and gray striped hen, and she's keeping a diary. It's called Shimmy's Diary, The Adventures of a Backyard Chicken. Her fictitious owners are Mr. B and Aunt Jenny. Here is her adventure from this New Year's Eve. December 31st. I, Shimmy, celebrate New Year's Eve. I clucked in the new year with my very own party because our doting pet owners, Mr. B and Aunt Jenny, were in such a rush to leave for their New Year's party, they left our chicken run open and their kitchen door ajar. I didn't really mean to stroll into their house, but I hopped up the steps and bustled through the door into the kitchen. Nervous at finding myself in such a foreign space, I did a runny poop. And walked around, curious to see how our foster guardians live. Craning my neck up, my eyes lit upon pet paradise, the kitchen table. I hopped onto a chair, and from there it was an easy flap up. What a lucky chicken I am. 2 fruitcakes were just waiting for my busy beak. I picked raisins from one and nuts from the other before a yellow-covered dish caught my eye. I gave the lid a good kick, it flew off, and I could hardly believe my luck. I stepped on the squishy, oily cube of salty, tasty butter and tracked it all over the tablecloth. Leaning down, I tasted my buttery toes and wiped my beak off. Then, while spinning around searching for more treats, my tail swiped a glass, tipped it over, and water surged over the edge of the table and splashed on the floor. Now, this was a lucky break, because by then I was getting mighty thirsty, so I plopped down and slurped up the couple. Next, I padded through the kitchen into a cramped room, first through the house, then into the cramped room, with a tile floor. A hop onto a white porcelain pedestal took me to a glass counter strewn with all kinds of shiny curiosities. I kicked at random, sending a metal tube spinning and little brushes sliding. I grabbed a string of white balls in my beak, and when I shook it back and forth, the string snapped and pearls exploded into the air. They rained down, and while ducking them, I lost control of my buttered feet. They skidded and skated on the slick surface until, flapping to keep my balance, I shot off the counter and hit the floor with a thud. I ruffled my feathers, turned to go, and, to my surprise, came beak to beak with another striped chicken. I clucked a greeting, and she clucked at the same time. I looked to the left, she looked to the left. I looked to the right, she looked to the right. When I pooped, and then she pooped, and walked through it, I had had enough, and hurried back into the hallway. While migrating back to the kitchen, I wandered into a room with a soft padded nesting platform. It was getting dark, and by then I was really pooped, so I jumped up onto the bed, and there I found heaven. I waddled through the soft mat toward the fluffiest place imaginable and sank to my breast between 2 puffy pillows. I closed my eyes, and it seemed like right away I woke up to shouting, running, and banging doors. Then I heard Aunt Jenny cry, "Striped feathers! I might have known it would be Shimmy. Just look at those fruitcakes. Oh my gosh, there's butter everywhere. Tell me that's not chicken poop on your brand new Christmas slippers." I heard a door squeak open and then a wail, "My pearls!" Mr. B, calmly, "Jenny, the most important thing is that she's safe and sound and that she didn't drown herself in the toilet. Let's just follow the chicken tracks." Click, my room lit up. In the doorway stood Aunt Jenny and Mr. B in their finest party plumage. I rose to my feet from my downy nest and stretched one wing after the other. I heard Aunt Jenny mutter, "Tracks all across the duvet." Then there were 2 seconds of silence before Mr. B pounced. Squawking and struggling, I was bundled back to the chicken coop where he settled me on the roost between my innocent sisters, Rumba and Boogaloo. Then, with a wink, he said, "Happy New Year, girls." Now, that was a great New Year's Eve, I can tell you.